There's a scam going around that unfortunately is working. And when a scam works, it means we see more and more of it play out, and more of us might become susceptible to it. So, in today's video, I want to share with you what this scam is and how you can protect yourself from it. Okay, let's jump in. We're going to start with car and driver, where they say the FBI warns against falling for scam text messages about toll roads. And the issue has become so big that the FBI has received over 2,000 complaints in just 1 month. And unfortunately, most of us don't complain when we get scammed, frankly, because we're a little embarrassed that we fell for it. So if there's 2,000 complaints making it all the way to the FBI, I would guess it's at least 10,000 people, maybe 20,000 people have fallen victim to this in just 1 month. All right, let's learn more about what this is. From Car and Driver, the attempt has now grown large enough that state official and toll services are warning people to be cautious when opening emails and text messages from unknown numbers. Now let's go to the government. Let's go to the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Advice. They have an article. You can see here this image here. If you've got a text telling you to pay overdue toll charges, it's probably a scam. And they say now there's two things: how to avoid the scam, and if you think you might become victim to the scam, number two is what do you do? So we're going back to the FTC article to see how do we avoid falling victim to a scam like this. The FTC says number one, don't click on any links in or respond to any unexpected text. Scammers want us to react quickly, but it's best to slow down, to stop, and to check it out. Number two, they say check to see if the text is legitimate. Now, I'm going to get into, do toll services text us on our phones? So the FTC says reach out to the state's tolling agency using a phone number or website you know to be real. Don't use the information from the text. And number three is to report and delete unwanted text messages. And here's how the FTC says to do that. Use your phone's report junk option to report unwanted texts to your messaging app or forward them to 7726, which spells out the word spam. Once you've checked it out and reported that, and then delete the text. Okay, so let's go to one of these toll agencies called the toll roads. They run the toll roads, at least in Southern California. And let's see what they say to do if, unfortunately, you've become victim to a scam like this. First, they sent out an article that says, important customer advisory regarding the nationwide text phishing scam. And they say the toll roads, which is the name of this company that runs the toll roads, at least in Southern California, the toll roads is advising drivers to disregard phishing texts being sent to their phone that detail a specific outstanding toll amount or notice of toll evasion. And then they go on to say what to do if you've responded to it. So again, their warning is if it gives you a specific amount, let's go back to that. If it gives you as a detailed, specific, outstanding toll amount or notice of toll evasion to your phone via a text message. Now, if you do respond to these text messages, what should you do? The first thing they say to do is if you think your information's been compromised involving a credit card, bank account number, or personal information, so if you respond to it, they suggest going to the website identitytheft.gov, identitytheft.gov, and there you'll see steps to take, including immediately contacting your bank or credit card company to report the information and cancel your credit card. So you can see what a pain this is. Here they share some examples. Many of us have had these pop up on their phones. I'm getting one, probably about one of these a day, sometimes more. But here's some examples of what those phishing texts look like. Here they have, please pay for Fast Pass Lane on December 17th, 2024 in order to avoid excessive late fees or potential legal action on the bill, and it goes on and on. So, how do we protect ourselves? Well, there's a couple things, right? One is just being vigilant, but you know what? The reality is, as we get older, we become an easier mark for these scammers. Why? Because our net worth increases. We probably have more credit card charges. Many of us don't check our credit card bill or monthly bill as carefully as we should. And then the third thing is, unfortunately, as we get older, we're just not, I mean, it's just a fact. At some point, we're not going to be as mentally sharp as somebody in their 20s. So if a scammer has a choice to send out a text to somebody in their 50s or 60s whose bank account is probably larger, whose mental acuity is probably not as sharp as it was when we were in our 20s. I know, at least in my case, that's definitely true. I wish it wasn't true, but it is. But if a scammer has a choice to send a scamming text to me or some 20-year-old that doesn't have much money, and is at the top of their mental game, you know what? They're probably gonna send that to me. So what do we do? How do we protect ourselves, right? One is, just put on all of the protections that your cell phone provider gives you. I used to get a lot more scammy texts than I do now. There is a setting on your iPhone. There is a setting on your Android device. Just Google it and find out how to do it for your specific advice. But I've never had somebody say, "Hey, I can't get a hold of you anymore. Do you have one of these scam filters on?" So that's number one. Number two is, not only are they sending us text messages, but they're also sending us emails. So a lot of our email providers do have things that cut back on the scams emails that we get. Again, anytime that somebody needs to get a hold of me by email, they're able to do so. So put that on. The other thing, and this I think is super, super important, is if you haven't done so yet, it's probably time to have a password manager. Too many people are reusing passwords. And so if somehow an organization gets hacked, if somehow a password gets linked to us, and that is used multiple times at different organizations, at different companies that could financially hurt us, your credit card company, your bank account company, maybe the airline that you fly frequently. People can sign up for airline flights, which I've never understood. It seems like the best way to get caught as a scammer is to book an international flight or to book an expensive flight, and then that person shows up. I'm sure that they're reselling those to unfamiliar people. Otherwise, the FBI could be waiting for them at their gate. But it's time for a password manager, and it does take a little bit of time to transition into using one. It's a slightly different thought process, but after you go through the first 30, 60, 90 days, you're just gonna have a peace of mind knowing, okay, you're doing the things that you should. And probably the number one thing that I hear from people that they're not doing that they should be doing is using a password manager. So if that's you, I want you to think about doing it. It's about making good decisions. It took us a long time to save up the money that we have. I don't want you to lose that money. And if you like my videos that talk about making good decisions, the YouTube algorithm says this is my next video that you specifically will like and you should watch next. Let me know if the YouTube algorithm's right. And thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.